Hello, my name is Amy. Welcome back to your mat. Welcome to your practice. We're going to get started right away. All you'll need for today's class possibly are 2 blocks. You may or may not need them. So if you don't have them, don't worry about it. If you do, grab them and just have them off to the side here. And we'll get started right away. So I will kind of talk through today's theme as we get into this first pose. So we're going to start in our first pose, which is bound angle pose. So if you know it, go ahead and get into it. And I'm going to cue you here pretty specifically at first, and you'll understand here in a minute when I explain the theme of today. So I want you to bring the soles of your feet together, and I want you to kind of come a little bit closer in. So instead of having your legs further out, bring them as close in as works for your body. So obviously, you will have to adjust this a bit, but some of us can come really far in, and some of us have to come a little bit further out. But somewhere what works for you, sitting up nice and tall on those sit bones, having your legs drop out to the side, really kind of focusing on the alignment here. And get a nice tall flat back here to begin with. So you can stay right here if you like, or if you're feeling it and you want to go ahead and fold forward a bit, come on forward a bit. And you got those blocks, so you're welcome to use those in your forward fold here, or you can stay more upright, or you could even be somewhat in between. So that part you don't have to, that's up to you. Folding forward or staying more upright. But really we want to come with this nice alignment with the soles of our feet are together, knees are out. Press your feet together, the soles of your feet together, and come forward. So today's class, we're going to kind of work with 2 different things that we deal with in our life, or 2 different ways of being in our world. And that's the logical and analytical side of ourselves. And then the other, what we're going to explore, is the creative and the intuitive side of ourselves. Now, some of us are more one than the other. Some of us are balanced. Some of us, it may change from day to day. So we're starting right now in this more logical, analytical. In terms of, for yoga, we're doing more of an alignment-based pose here. In a moment, we're going to do this exact same pose, but from a more creative, intuitive perspective. So hold on, it'll make more sense as we go along. So go ahead and take a couple breaths there. Really noticing that you got your knees down as far as possible. They may be further up. We all have different bodies, but down where they can be, pressing into your soles of your feet, looking out in front of you. Another inhale. Nice exhale. Come all the way up. Now, I don't know about you, but I noticed that because I was really pushing in. I could feel it in my groin area, all through my legs. So who knows where you may have felt it in different places or the same places. Now, we're going to do that same pose again. So before we do that, let's just stretch our legs out and give them a nice little shimmy, a little shake there before we go to do the same thing. Same pose, but we're going to do it from a different perspective. So we're going to let go of the alignment, the analytical, the logical, it needs to be a certain way. And in this time, I want you can make it more loose. You could have it more of a diamond shape. Your feet could be together, or they could be a little bit, you could have them spaced out. I want you to get creative, and I want you to also listen to what your body wants. Kind of access that intuition, your inner knowing. What feels good? So I'm personally going to just try more of a diamond shape, and I'm going to have my feet separated. Again, you need to decide what is going to work for you. I'm going to use a block. Now, another way you could use the blocks, if you have them, is you could prop up your knees. And this, because some of us, our knees are further up, so it's nice to have a little prop there. So get creative. Feel what, as a matter of fact, I just changed mine up. I'm listening to my intuition. I'm going to go with the blocks under my knees. And the same thing, you can either stay up in a nice seat here, you can fold forward, but let go, drop the alignment, drop that needs to look a certain way, and listen to your inner self. Listen to your body. Take it, be creative with it. What would work better for you? Feet together, feet further apart, diamond shape. Maybe you want to be a little closer in, but we're just going to notice here for a moment, and I really want you to focus here. Of course, keep your breath going, but I want you to notice, how does this feel and differ from the way we did it the first time around? So just notice. And it may feel the same. It may feel different. There's no right or wrong. It's not that one pose is better than the other, but it's nice to kind of bring a little balance between these two opposites. Go ahead and inhale and come up. Shake those legs out, and then we're going to come to stand. You can keep the blocks at the top of your mat if you like. I'm going to face this way. And we're just going to warm up with a couple of half sun salutations before we do a little standing sequence here. So much the same idea. We're going to explore both aspects. So I'm going to use my blocks for this first one, or for the half sun salutations, just to bring the floor up to me. Again, if you don't have blocks, you can always use your shins. Half sun salutation. We're going to just do the standard, really notice your alignment. So we're going to come into mountain pose. My feet are about hips width apart. Arms down to the side, chest is open. Inhale, rise your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Bend in the knee if you like. Fold all the way in. Inhale and rise out of those hips and look out in front of you with a nice flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up. And come back to center. Let's do one more time that exact same way. Nice alignment, nice breath per movement. So one breath per movement. Inhale, rise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms back down to your sides. Now, I want you to do this next round slightly differently. So that was more of our aligned, logical version. Now we're going to get a little more intuitive and a little bit more creative. And I am going to invite you to do this one with your eyes closed. Now, if you don't want to do that, it doesn't work for you, then just keep a nice soft gaze. But don't worry about where everything is in space. Don't worry about is everything aligned properly. So now I want you to just listen to your body. And would you rather have your legs out wider? Would you like to have them touching? You could have your toes touching. Where do you want your legs to be, your feet to be? So go ahead and find that. You might want to sway back and forth a little bit here. And I want you to just breathe at your own pace. I'm not going to cue the breath on this one. And again, if you can close your eyes, I want you to go through that same thing without worrying about it looking a certain way or being perfectly aligned. Just flow with it. So I'm going to close my eyes. We're going to go ahead and inhale, rise your arms up, fold forward on the exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale and rise it back up. Going at your own pace. And I have my eyes closed still and it's wonderful. So go ahead and do another round. Arms up. Folding forward. Just moving and feeling for a moment. And coming out to a halfway lift, Back to a fold. Arms back up overhead. And bring them back to your sides. And if your eyes were not closed, go ahead and close them for a moment and just notice, how did that round feel versus the first round? Again, it's not one that's better than the other. We're just exploring. All right. Sorry, I need to fix my mic here real quick. All right, next, we're going to go through a series of standing poses. Just 3, but we're going to do them very much like we have done so far. So I want you to step back with your right leg and come into a crescent. So here we're going to really notice our alignment. So I've got a nice wide stance here on my mat. My front left leg is bent deeply. My back leg is nice and straight behind me. The arms can be in one configuration. I'm going to go with hands in prayer position. You can have them up above you. Doesn't matter. The arms are not as important here right now. Go ahead and pick what you want. Come into a nice crescent and really feel buoyant in this pose. You can even give a little bounce there, but really feel your alignment. Feel your feet connecting into the mat. Feel you're hugging into the midline to keep that nice balance going. And then from here, I want you to switch into Warrior One. So we're going to be very deliberate about our alignment here. So Warrior One, bring that back foot in a bit, and it's now at a 45-degree angle. Your left leg is still bent. Back leg is still straight. Now see how this feels. Really turn your hips toward the front of your mat. Really focus on that, making sure they're not bowing out to one side or the other. Making sure your front knee is over your toes. And really feeling that. And also another alignment cue here is to keep not only the the big toe side, but the pinky toe side of your foot grounded. Notice how that changes the feeling in your leg, that back leg. I had one other pose I was going to do, and I don't want to forget what it was, so let's stay there for a moment. Okay, there we go. My brain just went somewhere else for a moment. And then from here, I want you to clasp your hands behind you, and we're going to come into humble warrior. So keep all of those alignment cues we already said for the legs, and now your arms are clasped behind you, or they can just be back behind you if they're not clasped. And then you're going to bend forward. And in this case, I want you to bring that left arm down toward or on your left leg. So bend right down the middle here. And I want you to look back at that back heel. So again, we're really noticing the alignment here. We're really focused on how it looks. And I want you to inhale and come back up. Now, we're going to do that same thing on the other side before we switch it up. So go ahead and step forward on your mat. And we'll go a little bit faster on this one, so since you already know the alignment cues. So go ahead and step that left foot back, come into your crescent lunge, get that nice base, that stable base, hug everything into the midline here. Arms in whatever position you want. Front leg is bent, front knee is tracking over the toes. Really feeling a good amount of strength here. You're pushing the energy coming up through the mat and pushing as you're pushing into the mat. There's that nice resistance there. And then I want you to open up into your warrior one. So go ahead and bring that back foot in a bit to a 45-degree angle. Really make sure you're noticing that you're standing equally on the big toe side and the little toe side. That will change how that foot feels. You can even try it. Lift your little toe and then put it back into the mat. Give it a nice solid foundation there. You'll feel the difference in your leg. Clasp your hands behind your back. And go ahead and come forward into your humble warrior. So now my right shoulder is going to be coming near the right knee. It may touch, it may not. And drop that head, drop your neck down, and hug that right hip in toward the midline instead of letting it bow out. Glance back at your left foot. Notice how this feels. Inhale, rise up. Let's come to stand. Shake that out for a moment. Now we're going to do the same thing on both sides, starting with the right leg back. But this time, let go of the alignment cues that we just discussed. And I want this to be a little bit more fluid, more creative, more intuitive. So feel what your body needs. Do you need a wider stance when you come into crescent? So let's go ahead and step back to crescent. And I'm going to play around with the wider stance. So I've moved my left leg out a little bit further. So go ahead and just play around with that and see how that feels. Don't worry, is everything aligned perfectly? You can have loose arms. You could move the arms if you wanted to. You could shoulder roll. What is your body saying? Hey, let's try this. What is it saying it needs? Try whatever that is. Make it more creative and fluid and intuitive. We're still in the same pose, but we're letting things be a little bit more flexible. Come on into your warrior two, your warrior one. Set this up however you like. Wider stance, doesn't matter. Don't worry about all those alignment cues. Drop those for now. I want you just to notice what your body likes. What is it calling for? How does it feel in this pose? What do you want to do with your arms? What is your body saying? For me, I think I'm going to come into some cactus arms. That just feels good. Maybe move my arms a bit back and forth, you know? Do what you want. There's no right or wrong here. And then bring your arms behind you and do whatever feels good for you. So instead of clasping this time, I'm just going to bring my arms. I have them like this. But you can do whatever you want. Decide if you want to clasp them again, go ahead. You're still in that warrior one pose, but now you're going to do a nice humble warrior. And now you can go however you want. So if you want to go more down the middle, so you're maybe at a 45-degree angle, or if you want to be closer to the bent leg, whatever feels best. Eyes could be closed if you want to add a little challenge here, balance challenge. Can look wherever you want. I've got my eyes closed just to try it out. Another breath. Inhale, come all the way back up and step forward. Similar experience. I mean, the poses are exactly the same. However, we're doing them in a slightly different way. Let's try the other side. So step back into your high crescent on the left leg back. I'm gonna try that wider stance again, but again, experiment, just see what feels best. If you wanna try to have a more narrow stance, notice how that changes things. If you wanna do all of this sequence with your eyes closed and see how that changes things up, you'll notice the balance will definitely come into play. So do what you want with your arms. Let go of all the alignment ideas, but just feel into this. You could back up a bit if you want. You could even straighten that front leg if that's what you're feeling. Just see where you want to be. Experiment. Now come into your warrior one. Same thing. Experiment. See what feels best. Arms in whatever configuration. There is no right or wrong here. So just explore the space. And then lastly, do whatever you want with your arms for that humble warrior. So you can clasp, do whatever you want there, and then go ahead and fold yourself forward. However you want and however far you want. So you might stay more upright. You might come really low. Pick what works for you right now. So the same poses, just with a different perspective, can change how the pose feels. Inhale, come up, stand tall on the top of your mat, and I want you to close your eyes for a minute and just notice, how did that feel? The two different perspectives. Gonna come down to a seat. And we're gonna finish off here, and I'm gonna do a quick little twist here, and then we're gonna, actually, I take that back. I'm gonna change this up a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is we're gonna come in as if you're going into Shavasana. If you would like, have the blocks nearby for Shavasana, because I'll give you an option there. And we're just gonna come into a quick little twist. In this case, I want you to decide, do you want your twist to the right? We'll start to the right first. Do you want this to be more of an alignment-based one, or do you want it to be really loose and just creative and do your own thing? So you decide. There's no right or wrong here. We're just doing a quick twist to settle that for a moment. And then inhale and come up. And the same thing, twist to the other side. Pick what you want. Do you want a nice, everything's stacked and looks nice and neat? Do you need that? Or do you want to just have a loose twist? What feels best for you? Do you find that you're more of everything needs to be in alignment all the time? So maybe you need to do a little bit more of the let things go and be more creative. Or you find that you're usually more of the let things go and you have very little of the alignment. Maybe you need to try that out. So just decide. And then for Shavasana, I'm going to give you the option to just do a standard Shavasana as it is, letting everything go into the mat, doing your thing. Or if you would like to be a bit more creative with your Shavasana day, you could take the blocks, if you have those, and put those under your knees and lie back into a standard Shavasana. Or I'm going to do something different that I never do, and I'm going to lie on my side. I'm just going to do a little sideline Shavasana. So you pick what is best for you. Either the standard, blocks under your knees, lying on your side, maybe a different way. Maybe you just want to sit up today. And just let go for just a moment here into the mat. Breathing. And just visualize or imagine balancing out those two parts of ourselves. We all have some of those parts in ourselves, but some of us obviously have one over the other or more, and some are pretty balanced. So it's nice to introduce a little bit of each and see which one you need more of. If you have time, I recommend you stay longer in Shavasana. If you don't, come on up. We can close the class out together here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of fun little exploration between our logical and the analytical versus the intuitive and the creative. Neither is better or worse. They're just two sides of a coin. Thanks again for joining, and until next time.